Welcome to my Patty Stamps video tutorial. I am so glad that you have joined me today. I am really excited to show you this beautiful card. Isn't this so pretty? This features the In the Woods stamp set from Stampin Up, and I'm using this tree stamp, and I am going to create all these beautiful shades of greens and browns on this stamp using the Stampin Up Stamparatus. This is another one I did, very similar, a little bit different look because I put some shimmer paint on this one. Might be hard to tell on camera, but it's very pretty. And then I did this one with the same technique. Now this is called color layering, and I saw this idea in a video from demonstrator Jenny Hall. I am also a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I blog at pattystamps.com, and I thought you might enjoy seeing how this is created. So here is my Stamparatus. If you are not familiar with the Stamparatus, this is a stamp positioning tool from Stampin' Up! And there is a platform here with our paper. Our stamp is attached over here on this clear plate, and we're going to be inking and then stamping. The reason I'm using this is because I am going to be adding layers and layers and layers of color on this stamp and stamping repeatedly, and I want it to stamp in exactly the same place. So that's why I am using the Stamparatus, so that I can be sure to get it stamped in the exact same place. Now I have several different markers here. You can probably see them up here. Several different greens, some browns, a rust-colored Cajun Craze, and Early Espresso. I'm going to be using all of these colors to add color. So at first, I'm just putting one of the lighter greens up at the top, and I'm just going to press, and I'm going to get some of that lighter green up here. And that was Mint Macaron. Now I'm going to go with some Pear Pizzazz, and I'm just randomly doing some squiggles here with the side of the marker tip, the broad tip. Now I'm going to add that Pear Pizzazz on top of the Mint Macaron. And you can see that it's giving some lights and darks. Now I know that might look like just sort of a messy kind of a, like what is she doing? But as we start adding some more colors, so this is Mossy Meadow, which is a pretty deep green. So I'm going to put that down towards the bottom where those branches might be in shadow. You'll notice I'm not cleaning off. I am just adding and adding, and I know this looks kind of crazy, but just watch as we start to add more layers of color. And this is just kind of haphazard. You don't really need to do this with any precision. And then we'll grab Shaded Spruce, which is also quite dark. Put some of that towards the bottom again, just to darken down there and kind of along where the trunks are. And I'm just going to go ahead, I think I'll go back to the Pear Pizzazz and put a little more of that up into the top here. And I might be touching a little bit of the light and the dark color together, and that's okay because you can just wipe your tip off on scratch paper. Okay, so we're just adding a little more color there. So now you have a few more lights and darks going on there. Let's just move over to the trunks before we do any more green. So the first layer of the trunk is going to be Crumb Cake. And I'm just putting it on the tree trunk at the bottom and just kind of pulling it up into the tree. So that's our first one. And then I'm going to add some soft suede, and I'm trying to just kind of skip a little bit so that some of that crumb cake still might show through on the trunks. So now we've got some lights and darks happening on the trunks, which is exactly what would happen in nature, you would have sort of dabbles of sunlight kind of hitting parts of the trunks. Okay, and now I've got that Cajun craze to add a little warmth down there. And then my last layer of trunk will be the early espresso. And I'm going to try just to hit one side of the trunk and then dabble just a little bit up into the tree. So that really darkened up those trunks quite a bit. That's really pretty. Now I'm going to go back to, let's see, I think I will do the Call Me Clover. And I am just going to kind of do some random scribbles kind of right through the middle and a little bit up towards the top. Let's see what that does to that. Isn't that pretty? So you can see all those lights and darks happening in there. I think that's beautiful. Let's maybe hit the tops of these trees again with the Pear Pizzazz. See what that does to just sort of pick up some lights in there. And then let's see, I think I'm going to go back to the Shaded Spruce, and I'm just sort of looking here to see if there's any area that I think I sort of want to fill in a little bit. So I think just sort of along the trunks right there. And I should tell you that even though I saw this technique on a video by Jenny Hall, she was not using this set. She was using First Frost, and I immediately ran up to my stamp loft because I thought, oh, I want to try this, and I had ordered that in wood mount, so I couldn't do it on my Stamparatus. You need to have the clear mount where you have just the rubber and not the block. Oh my goodness, so I couldn't try it with that, so that's why I decided to try the trees. So now I'm just going to add a little bit at the bottom of the trunks, and I'm going to go back and I can see where some of these branches are. I'm just going to give a little more of the soft suede into the branches. I like that because now I can see those branches in there. So I think I would just about call that one done. I think this is really pretty with all those lights and darks. So let's just go ahead and take the magnets off, because once you take the magnets off and you move it, now you're not going to get that lined up again. So there you can see that they are very similar. This one has a little more darks than this one did. This one I did a little more of the lighter shades, but this is something that will come out a little bit different each time. And I think this is just really a beautiful, beautiful technique where you can just keep adding and layering. And I was thinking that this set, Rooted in Nature, would be perfect for this as well. This tree and these. But once again, I ordered this in wood, so I'm going to need to either order this in clear to give this a try, or maybe I can borrow it from somebody that has it in the clear mount. But I thought about it. So then this larger tree in the winter woods, I did a very similar technique, but I kept moving my paper around so that the tree would stamp in a different spot. Sometimes I moved the rubber a little bit, but I just kept layering all different colors of these same greens onto the trees and stamping them so that I could get all those different shades of green going on. And I did layer my cards onto the buffalo check, so that I stamped in all different shades. I did some on the mint macaron and some on the white, and I just did, you can tell here, different backgrounds for those. And I did want to show you the difference. So here is that stamp just simply inked with the brown trunk and green trees. And you can really see a difference there of using the different colors and bringing in those darks and lights and all those different greens. And it does look a lot more realistic to have all the different greens than just having one green and one brown. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think this is really fascinating. I love this technique, and I thank Jenny for opening my eyes to this. And Winter Woods, the Stamparatus, the markers, the paper, all of these supplies are available through my Stampin' Up website. You can go to pattystamps.com, or you can go to mystamporder.com just to order directly. Now, if you need a Stampin' Up catalog, please let me know. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I would be more than happy to send you one. So thanks for joining me. I hope you'll try this really fun technique.